My HGV Insurance is proud to sponsor Trucking TV. Let us take the stress out of arranging your HGV insurance.
Welcome to part 7 of Trucking TV's 2-day tramping trip with driver Helen Crighton. This was going to be the final part, but in fact we'll have a total of 8 episodes in this clip series. We're 2 hours into day 2 at Grimsby.
One of the things that comes across to me as, newcomer to modern trucking really, is how much waiting drivers have to do. And you don't get involved in loading the load or touching the load at all.
No, not on containers.
Right.
You do in other industries like trucking.
Yeah.
Obviously you've got curtain siders and you've got folk that drive Moffats and things like that. They do all their own loading and unloading.
Right.
You've got there'll be people that'll tell me a lot more things like, what I mean? But you've got your cranes and they all obviously still roping and sheeting still done.
Yeah.
Not the good old fashioned way. It's done by straps these days, so you get a bit flappy. Can't cope with a flappy sheet. But hey ho, that's the way that's got to be done these days, thanks to Mr. Voser. But containers is a doddle. Anybody who tells you otherwise is lying. It's the easiest job I have ever had. You've got to be a certain mindset to be a container driver because it is boring, which is why I clean my truck. Obviously in this weather there's not a lot of point. I think we'll just keep it black for now, which is killing me.
When you think about that, I mean, people occupy their time in different ways, don't they? What do you do?
Watch television on my phone, or a DVD, or read a book, or I've got one of those colouring books that everybody goes on about.
Yeah.
I've got one of them. I don't find them calming at all because they're so difficult. I'm so wound up by the time I've done a bit. I have to put it down for a while, so that's not good for my brain in them colouring books. But I thought I'd give it a go. But yeah, it's just sit and wait, innit?
Yeah.
Just sit and wait. Clean my truck, clean the inside if I can't clean the outside. But yeah, it flies by. Not. The 2 or 3 hour ones I can cope with. It's the ones we do where you're 7 or 8 hours.
Right.
They're like soul destroying.
Really?
Oh, they're awful. Hate them. But it's all part of the job, innit? I just wish I could go back on curtain siders. I used to love multi-drops. But unfortunately my body says otherwise. So does my doctor. Never mind. Still love trucking.
What year is that?
One unexpected source of concern for many new drivers is getting your working and driving hours right.
So we're heading towards Felixstowe. How does the time work out? How do your driving hours work out? And how do you know when you've got to stop?
Well, we've done 1 hour 55 minutes driving so far.
Right.
But we've had about 40 minutes, just short of 40 minutes on break.
Yeah.
So you've got a working time directive and you've got your driving hours. They're 2 different things. Now, on our working time directive, because we've had half an hour break within 6 hours of working, not driving, working,
Yeah.
we're all right, we're covered now for that. But I've done 1 hour 55 minutes driving. So within the next 2.5 hours, or 2 hours 35 minutes to be precise, we need to take another at least half an hour break so that we've covered our 45 minutes. And then we can get our foot forward to Felixstowe.
When you get to Felixstowe, you're then going to unload this and reload another container on the dock, as far as we know.
Yeah,
So how does that dock time count?
it's working time.
So it's working time but not driving time?
Well, it's driving time while I'm driving around the dock.
Right.
But once I get into either THA, which is normal for Felixstowe dock,
Yeah.
where you have to wait, or if I get into my slot, I cannot put it on break because I'm not having a break, I'm working.
Right.
So I won't be able to take a break until I get off the dock. But hopefully we should be alright. My yard's only over the road from the dock anyway, so I can bob in there, get some fuel, some AdBlue probably as well today, and stock up before I leave again. So I'll have a quick break in there, 45, and then I can just run the rest of my driving time out that I've got left to get to wherever I'm going.
Excellent. And you don't know yet when you're going. Will you know where you're going before you get to Felixstowe or not until you get there?
It's hard to say really.
Right.
They might tell me before I get there. I do need to know. I'll have to call in the yard and get my notes,
Right.
so I've got my VBS number and things. But they'll probably ring me when I'm a bit closer, just to make sure I'm going to be on time. Because to get onto Felixstowe dock, you've got to have a VBS number, and that gives you a time slot for you to get onto the dock. So they need to make sure that I've not been held up in traffic, and I'm going to make that slot.
How wide is the time slot?
2 hours.
Right.
Yeah, so if I've said I'm going to be down there for about 3:30, I would have thought they will give me a 3 till 5 VBS. And we should be able to hit it. The traffic's not too bad this time of day, so we should be alright. You get your good drivers and your bad drivers no matter what they're driving. But the thing is, when you put you in charge of something this big that can do a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the guy on the A34.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a split second. So, you know, if I haven't flashed you back in because you just passed me, it's because you're not a safe enough distance to come back in.
Right.
You know, I don't want you coming in 2 feet in front of me. Give me a couple of car lengths, or at least a couple of car lengths, which is still not far enough away really, and I'll flash you in. I'm not being ignorant if I don't flash. You're just not far enough away from me.
Join us again for what we promise will be the final instalment of this series of Drivers' Days. See you soon.
Why not give us a call on 0161 410 1061 when you're arranging your HGV insurance, or visit our website at www.myhgvinsurance.co.uk or our Facebook page at HGV Insurance, and let us take the stress out of arranging your HGV insurance.